You are about to witness bodily dismemberment, sub-zero temperatures, and all-out mayhem. Brought to you by the Frontline Network.
Sup, COH fans, and welcome to episode 11 of Frontline Fatalities Season 3, brought to you by the Frontline Network, presented by me, FatalSaint, and my good friend Tommy. What's up, Tommy?
What's up, Fatal? We are back here on the fields of Kolodny Firma Winter. It's been a fan favorite since the alpha, all the way back in December. God, that feels like a long time ago. And we are now here once again to see a couple of high-level players going at it on this wintry, chilly map.
Yeah, we will be having Ccart playing from the S03 clan. He will be playing the Soviets, and he will be playing against Alts or Alties, depending on what you go after. His username on Steam /Co2 or his forum username of Alties, I think it is. Two great players, and they will be battling out on Kolodny Firma. We're at the 5-second mark. Ready to go, Tommy?
I'm ready.
On pause in 3, 2, 1, on pause. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I know for a fact from watching some of Ccart's replays, and I believe we actually also casted a few of them. I think he played one game on Minsk maybe, and one 2v2 game with his S03 clanmate where he did some crazy stuff.
Right, yeah.
He usually always does some crazy stuff. No
Didn't
standard
he do like
builds.
a KV8 rush or something?
Yeah, something like that.
1v1 that we saw.
I think he likes KV8s and some of the other various units like shock troops and IS2s, for example, stuff that most people don't really use because standard thing is going for guards.
Too busy building guards and
T-34s. Yeah, guards and T-34-85s. Everybody goes for guard motor coordination tactics usually nowadays. It's just a very solid commander choice.
Remember when everyone went hit the dirt?
Yes, and then it was nerfed into the ground.
You could just look over the map and you just see Soviet infantry lying on the floor.
Yeah, they weren't really mobile, but they were indestructible
effective,
instead.
though.
Yeah, extremely
Hit the dirt
indestructible.
plus green cover, you never kill me.
No, stacking cover mechanics is not good. We do have some conscripts actually garrisoning the church in the center. We'll be able to force off the first initial Pio squad from Alt. I'm guessing he went Gren first. I see a Gren on the field.
Yeah, Gren first and now a second Gren coming as well, so 2 Gren opening.
Yeah, 2 conscripts up for Ccart right now. He got out of the church to try and put some more bullets into the bodies of those pioneers, but with the grenadier backup they were forced back into the church. The second conscript squad now moving into the center, and Ccart is focusing on the southern fuel, and he is just basically stalling as much as he can in the center, but it looks like Alt is just going straight for the cutoff.
It's a risky move here. If that conscript jumps out the church, he could be double teamed by 2 conscripts at once. He's kind of far away from support as well. His 2 Grens very split up, while those 2 conscripts are much closer together.
Yeah, he decides against that as he says he sees the second conscript squad coming in from Ccart. He obviously it was a bit of a gamble. If his second conscript squad wouldn't have gone to the center to support the first conscript squad, he could have gotten that cut off and effectively cut Ccart off from basically all resources. He's only been capping in the south.
Obviously he's got a game plan in mind. Clearly has a game plan in mind. I think Alt just seems to be playing sort of more reactively, a bit more sort of flexible, but clearly Ccart, he knows what he wants to do on this map. He is going to grab that bottom fuel, he's going to cement his foothold, and only now, a couple of minutes into the game, is he now beginning to extend upwards.
Oh, we got a very
really low.
Yeah, he sticks around to throw a Molotov and pays dearly with his life, and that's the first conscript squad down already at 3 minutes into the game. That's nothing. Losing a squad that early is going to...
It's going to really hurt him.
Yeah, it's really going to help Alt now pushing for this cutoff.
Yeah, he better hope Alt makes a similarly big mistake. Otherwise, getting back into this game is going to be really tough. Alt has chosen to go for a 4-unit tier 1. He's got for 3 Grens and 1 MG.
3 Grants, 1 MG, and this is played with the current patch of Company of Heroes 2, where MGs and support weapons got a plus 25% damage increase to taken damage. And some other various changes to the MG42 as well, like suppression, for example. He did manage to decap the fuel up in the north. He did lose his cutoff though, and there's a low health 3-man Gren guarding it, while the rest of the infantry forces from Alt is forcing off basically all the Russian infantry from the center. There's still one country squad in the church, but apart from that, there's nothing there. And
he's actually taken the cutoff there as well. He's actually capped it.
Yeah, Ccart basically don't have... He doesn't really have any resources right now. Plus 17 fuel.
He does have the fuel, doesn't he? He does have the fuel. He does, actually. He's not in such a... He is probably getting more resources than Alt. He's been so focused on sort of chasing down conscripts that he's sort of neglected to do any capping of his own. The only resources that he actually has is from that middle munitions in the point just outside his base.
So I guess both players not really sitting on that many resources. At the same time, the cutoff in the north was taken also for Alt. So now Ccart has an 11 munitions income and a 7 fuel income, because the only thing he really has are some strategic points. But he manages to connect his southern points again by reclaiming his cutoff, and the battle continues in the north, forcing off conscript squad after conscript squad. So it looks like Alt might be stabilizing a little bit now. He's capping way more up here in the north after forcing off all of the Soviet infantry squads from Ccart, even killing an entire squad in that early engagement.
Yeah, it's been a very good opening, I think, overall for Alt, and he's now beginning to take back a lot of territory as well, especially all this territory in the north. That's really going to help him out. He has chosen to go for another Pioneer, put up another Pioneer, and he's using that to put up his Tier 2 building. So he's now got 2 Pios, 3 Grens, 1 MG.
Okay, so basically another unit added as a Pioneer is 200 manpower. It's almost like another Tier 1 unit. And if you give him a flamethrower, they're pretty handy in anti-infantry combat. Oh, that low man! 3-man low health Ren squad. Yep, so it's evened out a bit now.
Yep, so now they're... Well, now he's down to just 3 of his Tier 1 units, but he has managed to put up his Tier 2 building. And, well, he's not building anything yet. He could build the scout car, but he's choosing not to. He's waiting.
Same town in the south, the conscript squad barely gets into the capping circle of the southern fuel to stop the full cap of that fuel from these grants. Molotov was thrown, fairly easily dodged from Alt, however. He gets some veterancy on his grenadiers as well. He might win this engagement. 2 grants against 4 conscript, no way. He's going to have to be forced to retreat. He's standing in negative cover as well. He might be losing his 2nd infantry squad here on a retreat. There goes the Gren. So 2 Grens down for Alt, 1 conscript down for Ccart. All of a sudden, tables have turned. What's happening in this game?
He's actually having to rebuild one of those Grens, and he's opting to go for a scout car now. So that's his tech of choice. Also, very interesting, he has not opted to go for a very usual Axis doctrine. He has opted to go for the doctrine which gives him the artillery field officer. Of all things.
Assault support, the one with the truck?
Yeah.
Oh, and
no,
the
sorry.
strafe.
No trucks. No trucks. He's got the left artillery and the Pack 43. This isn't a doctrine I've ever even seen before.
I'm pretty sure
he's got recon, he's got artillery, he's got a fixed artillery piece in the place on the left, and he's got the Pack 43.
That could be one of the DLC commanders. Let me think for a little bit. If it's not assault support with the artillery officer.
No, it's not the Tiger and truck one.
No.
No, this is not one I've ever seen before, but it seems very heavy on the artillery. And he's calling in an artillery officer. Here it is.
Oh,
he's
nice.
called in an artillery officer. Here we go. It's a 4-man squad. I think, are those like 3 grenadiers with an officer?
Pretty much
with a
like
Luger?
a Grand Squad, yeah, but with an officer with I guess a Luger, but I'm not exactly sure of his combat effectiveness. But yeah, it's
he has an ability where he can give he can sort of buff a unit or buff any units around him to fire with fire faster and with better accuracy.
So it's got to be Joint Operations, which is one of the Collector's Edition commanders, or maybe one of the DLC commanders. I can't exactly remember which it is of it, but yeah, it's got to be Joint Operations with the recon.
No, another Gren! It's gonna go down. Another Gren goes down on the right-hand side.
It's a lot of grenadiers. That's 3 Grens down already. You know,
I
thought in the initial stages of the game where Ccart lost that conscript like that, just staying, you know, just to throw that one Molotov grenade, that's not gonna be worth it, CCR. You're gonna lose the squad, and it does. And it's like, he's gonna be behind the entire game now, but all of a sudden, it doesn't really take long if you lose entire squads to turn the tables on your opponent. And he might be losing another Grenadier squad. Why is he sticking around for so long?
I don't know. He's
very dangerous.
Playing a very dangerous game.
He's trying to soft pedal away, soft retreat away before retreating. He's gonna go up to the yeah. He wants to keep them in the field, but it's very risky.
And he's activating that buff on his artillery officer now. Increased rate of fire, increased accuracy on all his units.
Look at all the blinking territories on the map, though. The southern cutoff is taken. The northern cutoff was never connected.
No connected territories at
nothing.
all.
Not even one single strategic point right now, as he's losing the one just outside of his base. And the Flammenwerfer is going straight into the Soviet HQ sector, and he will be torching these poor conscripts. He does have 18 nades, Molotovs, and the field HQ command, the field infirmary. But he doesn't actually throw a single 18 nade because he doesn't actually have any munitions. His income is just so terrible.
No.
Here we can see the base MGs of the Soviet base actually doing pretty okay damage against light vehicles like that. I talked with Peter about this in a cast that we did in the early episodes of this season. I think the first one of season 3. And he mentioned that the base MGs for the Germans were basically better against infantry, while the base MGs for the Soviets were actually really good against light vehicles like scout cars and that half-track.
Yeah, I mean, that half-track took quite a beating, actually.
Yeah, that was just all small arms fire. Oh yeah, there we go, shock troops. We do have a doctrine choice for CCR. I haven't really been paying attention to it. So he's gone for the doctrine with the KV-8 and the IS-2. So, not exactly sure which one this is, actually. There we go, there's an 18-8 on that Flammenwerfer, finally. It took a while, but yeah, there it is.
A lot of losses, and actually he's just going to repair that half-track once again.
And with Vet 2, 18-8s are all of a sudden not enough anymore. It's just not enough when it gets the received damage bonus, which effectively gives the half-track more health. You can look at it that way. And it's not going to be enough to just throw 18-8s and just fling a few bullets at it. It's not going to work anymore. Here we go, another Molotov thrown into one of these buildings with a Grenadier at the northern fuel. Alt has basically not only decapped the southern cutoff for CCR, he's also capped all of the southern part of the map.
It's a pretty dominant position for him to be in, despite losing all those grams.
Yeah.
The power of that half-track is not to be underestimated.
Well, CCR has no guards, so he's got to rely on 18-8s right now, and it's not going to be enough, so he's putting up his tier 2 in the base. Most likely we'll be looking at an AT gun, I'm guessing at least. Something against that Flammenwerfer.
Or he just techs. I mean, does he have the fuel to just go straight onto teching after that?
He can, but he can't actually get anything out because he's got barely 110 fuel in the bank, 109 right now, but his income is non-existent. He doesn't have any sectors.
It's a really, really nasty position. And look at this now, we've got flames everywhere. We've got a Pioneer squad with a flamethrower down here, beating back the conscripts, but he does finally have to retreat.
A bit too much Soviet infantry for one lone Pio squad, even with a flamethrower to handle, so he's forced to retreat. Safety retreat. He doesn't want to lose that Pio squad as well. He's already lost, what is it, 3 grens?
I think it is 3 grens,
enough losing infantry guys right now.
He is back up to 2 grens though, so he's obviously rebuilt a couple.
Well, he started off with 3, lost 3, so I guess he's rebuilt 2 of them.
Yep. And he has now taken tier 3.
But look at the map control right now. CCR is trying to extend down in the south. He's capping some strategic points. He's going for that VP as well. But at the same time, the northern part of the map is now in Alt's hands again. And he's going to be able to reinforce from this half-track, even though he's been taking a few casualties on his grens by pushing out the Soviet forces from CCR. There's this artillery officer. He's almost Vet 1. He's got a little bit more than 50% XP on it. What's the Vet 1 ability on that artillery officer anyway? I just so rarely see it, and I so rarely use it myself.
It is very rare. Yeah, Vet 1 gets the ability to use a medkit.
Ah, okay. So just like Grenadiers then, basically.
Just like Grenadiers, yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
There's another 18A, but it just does nothing.
It's just Vet 2, man. I actually took this up during the Relic live stream, and I asked them if you're looking into, especially vehicular Vet 2. It's a bit much on certain vehicles and tanks. They became mini KTs, basically. you can look at it that way. And I asked them if they're looking at it, and they're aware. So I'm expecting a change in the near future. When the near future is going to happen, soon trademark, I don't know. But they know, and I've told them over and over again. It's a bit much, dude. When my T-34 keeps chasing a Flammenwerfer across the entire map and I can't kill it after 6 hits, it's too much. It's too much.
Yeah, it's a little silly, especially when you consider, you know, in Vico half-tracks, they were, you know, they had
squishy.
Their lifespan sort of
2 seconds.
Well, it was they were quite useful up until about the 10-minute mark. As soon as the first vehicle hits the field, they didn't last very long.
No.
Even an M8 was enough to kill one.
Even with veterancy, doesn't really matter. They still died. Horribly.
Yeah, nobody got that half-tracks anyway.
No, I guess if you went for tier 3 with Pumas and you got vehicle vet, you'd get it for your half-track as well. But at the time that you got your Puma out...
Nobody got Flamers on
No, because Flamers were so unreliable, extremely unreliable on the Flammenwerfer. Sometimes it seems like it did a lot of damage, and sometimes it did literally nothing.
But most of the time it just did literally nothing.
Yeah, so not worth it. Too expensive for an upgrade. It's kind of like the LMG on Grens. It's just like, it costs too much. And
Vico, that is. Obviously in Code 2, everyone and their grandmother gets a LMG on their Grens.
First it was flamethrowers, then it was LMGs. Pouring on the hurt on those 4 Pyos in the north. Goes down, Pyro Squad down. Vet 3 Flammenwerfer now for alt. It's gonna do a lot of damage with that Vet 3 bone. It's got 25 kills. How did that even have what? I'm surprised.
What?
25?
Oh, look at this Grenadier. Lovely little rifle nade to clear out a few conscripts. And here is the P4 now, just chilling out.
He's just waiting
ready
for the right moment to show his face. When that AT gun is decrewed, maybe.
Flank that AT gun, get a good couple of hits on it.
Problem is with AT nades, you can get deflections now on AT nades. They no longer have like a 1000 penetration value, so you can get deflected on a P4, but you can just as much basically still get penetrated by an AT nade, get the damage engine, and all of a sudden you won't be circle strafing that AT gun effectively anymore. Where is this Gren going? It's gonna go into the building. This is risky. Like, even I think this is risky. There's a Molotov in the building as well. Ccart really wants to kill this Gren. He gets Vet 2. He's gonna get out of the building.
Oh,
he's gonna finally retreat.
Oh, look at this. Nice flank here from the Flammenwerfer. Very nice flank from the Flammenwerfer.
At the same time, the P4 comes in from the south as well. He doesn't get AT-nated. He gets past the conscript that forces off the LMG Gren and the artillery officer squad as well.
Very nice move here by Alt.
There are still AT-nades, but there's no munitions. There's literally no munitions for Ccart. He's been throwing Molotovs like candy. And this AT gun is going to get burnt to a crisp.
It's a very strong AT gun. It's not dying.
Oh, KV8 call on for Ccart. He's been saving his fuel. He didn't actually take beyond tier 2, and he uses that
off the half track.
No, I'm pretty sure it hit, but Vet 2, man, and that 45mm cannon doesn't really do any damage starting off, and all of a sudden against Vet 2, it's gonna do even less. But yeah, KV8 versus P4 is not a good matchup for the
targets.
KV8.
He's trying to kill the AT gun because he knows that's the biggest threat to him.
Yeah, the KV8 main gun is not a threat to his frontal armor. It might be penetrating his rear armor, but not his frontal armor. So this AT gun is his biggest trouble. Here we go, finally have enough munitions to throw an AT nade on that P4 to at least slow it down. The Flammenwerfer moves in again.
He's very low health though, he's got to be very careful. There we go, he does manage to decrew the AT gun though, very nice job.
And he's gonna try to destroy the AT gun itself.
And there we go.
Okay, so now this KV8 is in a bit of trouble. It should go hunting for that Vet 3 Flammenwerfer or just stay in the base as it is right now, because it can't combat this P4 effectively with that 45mm cannon. It's just not enough, and he spent basically all of his fuel on that, so there's not going to be anything else for the near future. He's obviously floating a bit of manpower right now, 400 manpower, while he's thinking about what he should do next, how to get out of this sticky situation. His shock troops manages to decrew the MG from alt at the northern fuel, however.
The 39 kill half track. It's got a destroyed engine.
Did he get 18-aided or what happened?
It did get 18-aided. The conscript snuck up behind him in the blizzard.
Oh.
And there we go, the KV-8 goes out of control.
I think the KV-8 managed to get the killing shot on the Flammenwerfer, or if it was another 18-aid, I wasn't paying attention enough, but the KV-8 pays for it either way. Oh wow.
And the KV-8 is
look at this, shock troops might be good, but 4 infantry squads?
Oh wow.
With the buff from the artillery officer.
Oh my god.
Look at him getting minced right now. You gotta retreat faster than that, Ccart. That's not going to be enough. He's gonna be shot down on retreat, and the P4.
Brutal. Those P-Grens, MP44s with extra
with the
accuracy
LMG
and rate of fire is just nuts.
LMG grants everything. It's just like over. You're so dead. So dead.
There's another P4 being produced now. If he can get away with this P4 and keep it alive, having killed the KV-8 and just, I mean, look at the Soviet base, it's just been ravaged. It'll be a huge win for him.
He did have manpower saved up for another AT gun, so he has something against this P4 at least, so he's not going to get base rushed again, especially not with a damage engine, and there may be more AT nades thrown as well. These conscripts seems to be looking for this P4, might be scouting for the second AT gun out from Ccart now, which is just moving onto the field.
All we get is a top gunner back.
A quick repair, critical. Here comes the AT gun though. He's gonna screen with another Vet 2 conscript squad. These guys are basically just fodder right now to give line of sight to the AT gun, and the P4 is still in range for that AT gun, and the flavor pyro drops its flamethrower as it dies, and this Vet 3 now.
Vet 3.
That's gonna be a nasty damage buff, I think.
Wow,
we do have a cut-off move.
Really weird.
Yeah, cut-off move.
It's like a lightning bolt through the map of red.
I think it's way harder to get this cut off here on the left-hand side, where the conscript just cut off the 2 southern sector for the German player alt, than it is getting the sector on the right-hand side, because it's a bit further away from the base and just the layout of the map. But it's still possible. You can still cut off both sides from the south with basically one cut-off.
Well, a new people has arrived. It's been seen by the conscripts. From the P-Grens trying to decrew this AT gun. That increased rate of fire, that increased accuracy buff is really powerful.
Wow, even at like medium to long ranges, those MP44s are really good with that buff. I think alt might be onto something.
And conscripts probably just got wiped out on retreat there.
Yeah, they exited the church after it being refurnished a bit. There's a big hole in the building right now, so they had to retreat, and they retreated.
Like that.
They retreated through the German infantry.
He needed to be a little chillier. On my screen, there's a very funny conscript hanging from the roof by his feet.
I got one guy laying on the ground. I don't see anyone in the roof, but whatever. I see a lot of shock troops murdered, massacred.
Oh yeah, those shock troops, their elite armor wasn't enough to save them that day.
A maxim. But with the commander choice from Ccart, which, let's see, he's got the AT gun ambush. He hasn't been using it though, however. He's got the shock troops. Oh, this is a shock rifle frontline tactics, I believe. It's one of the free ones, I think. You just gotta get some levels, I believe, or something like that to get it. It's not DLC or C. But obviously, there's always a possibility of getting an IS-2. Problem is income, obviously. He has none.
Yes. Well, the IS-2 is a big beast, and I know it's gone through a lot of changes in recent patches.
I'm pretty sure
I'm not really
in the last one too.
Yeah, every patch seems to change it, because it's, you know, these heavy tanks, they're very delicate.
I think it was it a pricing change as well? They switched out some of the fuel cost to manpower instead, I believe.
Could well be. I'm not sure how it actually how it sizes up these days. I know it used to be pretty terrible, so hopefully it's been buffed a little bit to be a bit more useful. So he used to get eaten alive by just studs and P4s.
Yeah.
It's a little
Then
silly,
again,
really.
The rapid fire stugs before were a bit ridiculous at
That's
55
true.
fuel.
Yeah. Boom, boom.
That's
boom.
when we saw it, I think. Last time we saw an IS-2 used, you know, not just in the end of the game or in a 2v2, but actually used, you know, to try and win a game on, I believe, on Kolodny Winter. Actually, it was during the beta when it basically just got owned by Stugs because they were 55 fuels and fired like machine guns.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That didn't work. But nowadays, I think the Stug would lose pretty badly as well. We do have
You
another
hope so.
KV-8 called in actually, so he will not be floating fuel for another 10 minutes or so to be able to afford an IS-2. He's gonna go with the KV-8 instead. He does have 2 AT guns now. No, 1 AT gun and a Maxi. I thought it was a second AT gun, it was not.
I want to see this thing spewing flames all over these German infantry.
Instant retreat. I think he saw that from the line of sight bonus from garrisoning the church or something, and he just like, I'm not gonna fancy sacrificing my vet 2 grants to this KV-8.
He almost did lose. No.
Ooh. He's a bit on fire on my screen, but he lives.
Yeah, he was a little bit
lives.
on fire, but
These
He
grants,
just shook
though,
it off.
in the church,
I think
they're not going to be
toast.
long.
Oh wow.
Whoa.
Oh wow. The whole church is on fire.
Everything's on fire. It's over. It's gone.
Well, here comes a P4.
It's going to
He's
come on the
driving
flank of
straight
AT
into an
gun.
AT gun.
Ooh, he gets around the building. Very nice. But the KV-8 is there. LMG was picked up by Vet 3 conscript squad. So he has
That's
one
not the same
Vet
with the
3.
flamer, is it?
No, it's not the same one. He's got one with an LMG and one with a flamer. Those are some badass conscripts, I gotta say.
They are indeed. Who needs PPSHs?
Yeah, just
Oh,
steal
nice
heavy
block,
weapons.
nice block. Oh, no, he didn't quite get it. He didn't quite get it.
Good attempt, though. Very good attempt.
It was a good, right idea. Now he's just trying to shoot it in the back, but not doing anything.
Yeah, that main gun on the KV-8.
Oh, we have a Stug out. A Stug has been produced.
Ooh, fancy. I like me some Stug action. Oh, AT gun is so
Yep.
low health.
There we go.
Managed to get decrewed finally. It took a long time, however. At the same time, the Stug is moving into the center as well. It's going to go try and help out this P4, I believe. But the KV-8 still just not going to be able to kill this P4 either way, even though it's so damaged with the damage ending and everything. It's
Yeah,
not
just
enough.
switched back to the flamethrower gun as well, so he can't even fight back. Nice big hits here from this Stug. Come on, let's see some nice penetrations. Or some nice misses.
Or some nice
And
misses.
I just saw a tree do a backflip. That looked a little odd.
You know, it's the Russian environment is just... It has
More
become
alive than you'd think.
self-aware. It's like AI. It will take over the world by backflipping threes all over you, and you will die a horrible death.
There's a recon flight coming in now. I guess he just wants to check out the base, see what's happening there. That was actually all his munitions, though, used up there.
Well, I guess he doesn't want to be... I'm guessing he wants to know if something like Tier 4 is coming up, or, you know, is there going to be Su-85s? Do I need to keep taking myself, or will P4s do me well now? Will he just keep pumping out these KV-8s?
Wow, this KV-8 is torching a Vet 2 grand. It's so low health. If he gets focus fire down by that Vet 2 conscript, he'll lose it, but he's gonna get away by the skin of his teeth. Lucky guy. That Stug can't penetrate the KV-8 at all.
Nah, the KV-8 is beastly. It's extremely slow though, especially if you manage to get a Faust off on like the rare armor roll, it most likely will penetrate. Frontal armor, Faust is just like 18-8s now, they might be deflected, might not actually give damage engines.
How far away now are we from an IS-2?
Miles. There's
Oh,
100
really?
fuel in the bank for Ccart. Problem is just that the map just keeps changing hands over and over again. Lots of cutoff harassment from Alt, for example. It's not helping. It's got 100 fuel in the bank, and the IS-2 now is 240 fuel, which before I believe it was closer to 300, if it wasn't 300.
It was something like 300, yeah, it was insane.
But now
And like
it's
600 manpower. as
Yeah,
well.
now it's 760 manpower and 240 fuel instead. So I believe that was changed.
760 manpower.
Yeah, it's insane.
That is, you better hope you get some serious, you know, firepower for what you're paying.
Better get some good use out of it. P4 finally goes down to an AT gun, and the KV-8 in pursuit finally takes it out in the north. And now Ccart needs to stop this drain, however. He's down to already 123 VPs. He's been triple cat for a long time. Look at the whole southern part of the map is in Ccart's hands. Apart from the VP. It was the only thing that Ccart, or the alt, actually took. Was the VP. That was all. He left everything else, but the VP's mine.
Guess he's trying to apply a bit of pressure to Ccart.
Not doing a bad job.
No, he's not doing a bad job at all. I mean, he is going to have to go after these VPs sooner rather than later.
Yeah, he needs to stop the drain instantly. He's almost down below 100 VPs, and when you go below triple digits down to 2 digits, it starts getting a bit sweaty. Not really fancying that. Maxim freezing to death in the cold.
Oh, look at this AT gun and Stug. They're so close together. Oh, they did just see each other.
So what's on the agenda for alt? A Gren? Okay.
Gren being built, and he is saving up for more fuel to get himself presumably another P4, I'm guessing.
He's built 2 OPs as well.
So he has.
So his fuel income must be okay. Alt or
it is
Ccart?
plus 19.
Yeah, Ccart right now has a plus 33 income as he's stolen both the northern and the southern fuel back to himself. And he's going to be able to stop the drain. He's whited the VP in the south. At 102 VPs remaining. With 164, 65 fuel in the bank, there's still a possibility of an IS-2 hitting the field. I'd be happy if I could see an IS-2.
I would like to see an IS-2. We haven't seen an IS-2 in a while. That said, I would also be very happy, just given that we've seen a KV-8, and KV-8s are a lot of fun.
And a Stug. It's not been having a great time, but it's doing okay against this KV-8.
Oh my god.
That happened.
Nice knowing it.
That happened. MG, now you see it, now it's burnt. And the building's on fire as well.
Along with the rest of the building, yeah.
Maxim's moving in from the south at the same time that Vet 3 flamethrower conscript in the north, moving down south, capping that VP as well. So he's effectively put the triple cap back on the German player now.
Oh wow.
Instantly torched by that
nice
KV-8.
job, KV-8. Wow, 16 kills but only Vet 1. It's a hard life being a KV-8. And there goes another Gren. This KV-8 is, wow.
He is just annihilating the German army. There's nothing left, it looks like. There's only 3 sectors in possession for alt right now. He's losing the northern one. He lost the fuel OP. He gets 18-aided on his Stug. KV-8 just keeps moving in. There's the Stug there. It can damage the KV-8, but not quickly enough, especially as the KV-8 doesn't have a damaged engine. He can just reverse out of the way with the road bonuses.
Well, here's another P4. He's going to take another crack at taking down this KV-8, but there's an AT gun just ready and waiting for him.
Yeah, there's actually 2 AT guns on the field. One is back at the base, was produced not long ago. He's going to be moving on to the field as well. He gets on the rear armor of this KV-8 though.
Could go down here, could go down.
He's going to use the building as a shot blocker.
Penetration. It's going to be the end of it.
Oh, it deflects on the frontal armor. AT gun is not set up correctly either. This KV-8 needs to die.
Oh my god.
Killing. Was a triple PG died.
Instantly.
Here comes the second AT gun. It just runs right past the P4. The KV-8 gets taken out by this new P4. This AT gun, it was just running around on the field. All of a sudden, the target, he just ran past his target.
Well, this P4 is, he's had a good day. He's killed a KV-8 and he's gotten out without even a damaged engine.
Nothing, not even a scratch.
The enemy has 300 points remaining.
But the map control is firmly in Ccart's hands, which is going to pose a problem to alt soon if he decides to go for that IS-2. KV-8's no problem for a P4. The main gun, even if you switch to the 45mm on a KV-8, is just not enough. You need a lot more to kill a P4, like AT guns for example. But an IS-2, I believe, will be able to kill this P4 quite effectively. It should at least be a proper super tank to be able to take on medium vehicles like that.
It's been so long since we've seen an IS-2 in action.
Yeah, I don't know about the changes, so I don't know if it's gonna be good or bad. It's unlocked. He can afford it right now if he wants to. He got an 18-8 off on that P4, but at the same time he did lose the crew on one of the AT guns, and the IS-2 is finally called in for CCR as that Stug is fully repaired as well. So IS-2 plus 1 AT gun against a P4 and a Stug. Hard to know who's gonna win this.
God, that IS-2 looks beastly.
IS-2 does look beastly. It looks like it's gonna tip forward.
Yeah, it looks sort of front heavy, like
Yeah,
the barrel is
a
so
bit.
huge.
Oh no! I believe that the flamethrower... Wow, P4
Oh,
abandoned.
people got abandoned. Oh, I want to see a steal. We haven't seen a stolen vehicle in ages.
I don't think so, no.
Here's the IS-2. Hello.
I believe that artillery officer on the artillery officer squad got nailed. He's crawling on the ground right now. I think he just got killed.
I think he just got owned, yeah.
He was still wounded, and I was pretty much dead. Stug's just like, I'm not gonna have any of this. I'm not sure this is gonna be enough. I think I'm gonna leave. Oh, he decides to kill. He decides to kill the abandoned P4 with the Stug instead of leaving it to the enemy. He's gonna have enough trouble with his IS-2.
That's just being childish now. If you can't have it, then nobody can.
Maxim was flanked down in the south and forced to retreat, so he will be able to reclaim that VP,
And
but he doesn't because he
yeah, that
actually
goes
drops out from the game, I believe, after just noticing
He
that...
was down to 76 fuel with barely any income. He wouldn't have been able to produce a counter. I guess he could have produced a pack, but I think it would have just been laughed at by the IS-2.
I think so too. That main gun can get some nasty hits on support weapons like packs and MGs and just, you know, annihilate it in one shot. We got to see the IS-2 for a little bit at least. That's something. 6 kills. One of them being one of the artillery officer himself from that squad. And yeah, that thing looks beastly.
KV8 was a lot of fun though. I mean, the game was kind of sloppy, but it was quite entertaining as well. Lots of you could have played the Benny Hill music a few points in that game. I think, you know, the P4 was running around in the back lines, running past AT guns that should have set up. But overall, actually, it was quite a fun game.
Yeah, quite a fun game to spectate between CCR playing the Soviets on Kolodny Firma against Alsace Germans. Very nicely played from both players. Bit sloppy with the infantry persistency in the beginning there. You know, his preservation of some of the grants. He lost 3 grants, but at the same time, CCR lost that. Was a 2 or 3 minute conscript squad went down.
Yeah,
that's very
sloppy.
fast, losing one of your initial squads. You gotta pay attention, and I think the Vet 3 conscript squad that he actually retained, they did quite a lot of damage, especially the flamethrower and the stolen LMG. So
yeah, they were beastly.
You want to keep your guys alive.
Three guys, and they are keep your guys alive, and it will reward dividends, paid dividends. Well, thank you guys for watching. We do hope you enjoy this last game. Bit of KV8 action. Stay tuned. There'll be more games coming soon, and we will see you next time.
See you guys.